And then, oh gosh. I'm just trying to get in the right order so I don't mess things up, you know? For entertainment purposes, I gave the baby a sandal so she could play with it. Anything to entertain the baby. Anything entertains the baby, especially when they're babies. When they're toddlers, not so much. Hi, it's been a while since I've talked about books, since I've come here and spent time editing footage and releasing it for enjoyment purposes. I am ready to devote my time to this once more. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be my one. So if you're seeing my face right now, congratulations to me, because I actually sat down and put this together. I've moved 2 different times and now I am here. I am in almost the country. I am in a tiny town and I love it. I have a huge backyard and my own house. The next step is moving onto an acreage, but that won't be for a little while now. So for the time being, we're going to talk about books. This is gonna be a giant, quick, brief book haul because it is giant. It's going to be brief. Recent books I've gotten. I think the furthest back is back in the early spring. What I've gotten for my birthday. These have been gifts. These are thrifted, very much thrifted. So like I'm talking $1 a book, $2 a book. My battery's running out. Oh my gosh. Well, it better be brief. So we go out and we buy a book on each other's lists and we read it and annotate each other's books and then we swap it and then we get to read our book picks with our friends, or in my case too, my husband's annotations, and it's just been like literally the best. The book I'm reading right now anyways, currently in my life, I started this like 2 days ago, is Kafka on the Shore by Murakami. And this is my first Murakami. Crazy things about Murakami. I've heard a lot of things about Murakami. I've heard great things about Murakami. Oh, my baby farting in the background. This is the book pick for me with my friend Caroline, and she annotated this and she like illustrated it as well, like took images and scenery and just things from the setting of that chapter and she illustrated it through the chapter's pages, and on the front of the chapter it was just incredible and it just blew my mind, and she's so good at it, like so good at it, and her notes are hilarious. So thank you, Caroline. This has just been a joy. Even if the book is whack, your notes have made it a million times more enjoyable. So okay, going way back to around my birthday, then I got this as a gift for my birthday, and that's Contact by Carl Sagan. I watched the movie, loved it. I thought it was absolutely incredible. If you are fascinated by large, huge things, like I'm talking megalophobia, if you love, like, the movie was terrific. So I'm going to pick this up in November. November is my sci-fi fantasy month this year. I'm going to pick this up and see if it's anything as enjoyable as the movie, and I'm sure it is, but I just love the movie and I'm so excited to get into Carl Sagan's work of fiction. The next one I got while I was visiting my family was East of Eden by John Steinbeck because it was $2. The whole synopsis, the whole idea of the story, I just really want to read it. I also picked up The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter, and I really want to read this coming fall because I've heard amazing things about it. I've also read like the first page of this book and I just kind of died. It's just amazing. It takes you to a different place and the writing is just so gorgeous. So that's that one. Next one I got for my birthday is The Diamond Eye by Kate Quinn. This one is a new release. I'm pretty sure it's like set in Russia or something like that. It's a historical fiction. It's about like there's a sniper in here, and it looks so wintry, and I'm saving it for this winter to read. I'm gonna do the next two together because they're very kind of similar, just kind of in the same group, and that is The Night Circus and Something Wicked This Way Comes. The Night Circus is by Erin Morgenstern. Something This Way Comes is by Ray Bradbury, and this one's very famous, and so is this one, but this one's more of a classic. I actually already read this one. It was incredible. I loved it, but it wasn't like my favorite, but I did love it. it, and it's definitely a fall read. It's about, there's a circus in there, and the themes in this were amazing. Night Circus, I read this on audiobook, didn't get that much out of it, so I'm going to pick it up again in October. I know this isn't like critically acclaimed or like absolutely fantastic, but the vibes and the nostalgia in there for me is what does it. It's about a circus, it's about mad magicians, and also the very start, the prologue. I think it's called Anticipation. Wonderful. I loved it. Made me fall in love right away when I was listening to it. The next one I bought on my own because I'm really into like westerns and horseback riding and all that shadazzles. I decided to pick up my first western, and it's part of a 4-book series of Dead Man's Walk by Larry McMurtry. The opening chapter, incredible, will suck you right in like the most powerful vacuum, like outer space. Just hit myself in the face. And the next one I bought from Value Village, that is Love in the Tamaclera by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I read 100 Years of Solitude. Phenomenal. There are some like really weird things in there I was not expecting, but like the writing itself and just the way he tells the story is just wonderful. It's wonderful. So I read that back in May, and I picked this one up because I really wanted to try it. Next one my husband bought me because, oh my gosh, I was like, I'm dying to read this, and that is The Murder of Mr Wickham. I saw this. I don't know if it's gonna be all that good, like if the writing prose is gonna be good at all. Like if you're a Pride and Prejudice fan or if you're just a Jane Austen fan or anything and you love murder mysteries and mysteries at the same time, this gives me, the like synopsis gave me Knives Out vibes with Pride and Prejudice, and it's called The Murder of Mr Wickham. Like, nobody's too mad about that, are they? Like, I don't think anyone would be too mad about that because it's Mr Wickham. So excited to read that. I think this is that's gonna be a kind of fall read as well. The next book was actually my husband's pick. That is Neuromancer by William Gibson. I got this for him and I read through it and I annotated it for him, so he's reading through this right now and reading all of my notes. I actually really enjoyed this one. You have to have a huge imagination. He really leaves most of the world building up to you. Way back in the 80s, his ideas of like what the future would be like is just phenomenally on point. The next books were my pick because I heard nothing but great things about them. I heard nothing but like 5-star reviews for this fantasy series, so my husband bought it and he annotated it and then he told me about it, and then I just read it, and that is the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. But I just read the 5th season and I kind of hated it. I don't understand why that's an unpopular opinion. Terribly done. I think the only thing the author is good at is world building and setting. Megalophobia, again, I love it, but the characters suck. There's no character whatsoever. Maybe a little bit in the chapters where it's written in second person, but other than that, every character is so flat. There's no internal conflict, there's no decision making, there's no anything. We're all just like external conflict. There's something in here though that I really disagree with, because if you just think about it for 5 minutes, if you think in depth about it for 5 minutes, it's just 2.5 stars because the world building was incredible, and that's about all I can give this book. The next book I got was picked up from a thrift store, and it was just a gem. It was a steal of a deal. It was like a brand new copy of The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. I read these on audiobook. I'm actually in the middle of the 3rd book in audiobook right now. These are absolutely incredible. The fantasy world, just everything. These are amazing, and her writing prose are just insane. Like the way she just introduces a character, and then within a few paragraphs you would die for this character. You're like, oh my goodness, I want to know more about you. There's not a single character in here I don't like, even the villains. Like even the villains, like you like them, you love them, you're all for them. The next one I picked up was Forrest Gump by I was gonna say Tom Hanks. It's by Winston Groom. I heard it was a book, would want to read it, so I just found it for $1. The next one I found is 1984 for $1. Not my favorite like printing or anything. I like to collect classics in Oxford World Classics, but it was $1. The Cellist of Sarajevo. Don't know if I'm saying that right. It's about this cellist that is playing a song on his cello, and outside down on the street a bomb goes off, killing I don't know how many people, I forget, I don't know, however many days, however many people that died. He takes that number, and for that amount of days he goes down and he plays the same song he was playing in memory of them. And then there's we follow a woman who's trying to prevent his murder while he's doing this. Next book I picked up is actually 2 books in one, and that's A Little Princess and The Secret Garden. I don't have The Secret Garden, but I'm more interested in reading A Little Princess. I wanted to read it this winter in December, so when I found this for $2, and it's a gorgeous hard copy. I love the yellow of this hardcover, so I picked that up. That's my reading plan for this December. And the next one I found at the same thrift store is Ken Follett's World Without End, the embroidered book by Kate Hartfield. Halfway through it right now. The most recent ones are very recent, and these are both gifts, and that is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. I've been wanting to read this one for forever after watching The Prestige. This is like the book you should pick up that is like The Prestige if you don't want to just straight up. If you don't want to straight up just pick up the Prestige book, pick up Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, unless you're intimidated by like an 1,000-page book. The next book, which is the most recent, I actually got last night as a gift, and that is Nevernight by J. Kristoff. I've heard nothing but good things about this fantasy series. It really gives me Black Widow vibes because she's in a school of assassins. So yes, anyways, welcome back. Crazy to be back. It's so refreshing, and I'm very excited to sit down and bring you just my adventures of literature through life. I'm just so excited to introduce to you all my thoughts of stories, and just to be able to talk about stories, to create a just cozy environment, a very nice, happy environment where we can all talk about books and we can all just be friends. And also I'm excited because this community is just going to push me to do challenges for myself. I am going to be doing challenges someday. I am a young mom of very young babies, so like challenges like a 24-hour readathon are going to look a little bit different for me. But yes, I will do a 24-hour readathon of sorts in the near future. I hope you are having a great time with what you're reading right now. Okay, well, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.